The ship Odyssey cut through the emptiness between stars, its battered hull bearing the scars of 100 desperate journeys. Aboard, Captain Rhea Torres peered through the reinforced viewport as their tiny convoy drifted toward the derelict station known as the Grave. This was supposed to be a simple salvage run, a desperate gamble for supplies and fuel. But nothing was ever simple at the edge of human space, where legends still whispered of the old wars and things that hunted the darkness. The station floated above a ruined planet, its vast bulk lost in shadows. Rhea's crew was a mismatched band. A couple of ex-soldiers, streetwise engineer, 2 medics, and a botanist who had never fired a gun in her life. They were all survivors of wars, betrayals, and lost homes. They needed this run to go right. As they docked, Rhea checked her sidearm, heart pounding with the cold certainty that something was wrong. She tried to raise the station's AI, but only static answered. The crew formed up, lights piercing the pitch-black corridors. Even the air felt wrong, dry, dead, echoing with memories of violence. They split into teams. Rhea and her old friend, Sergeant Marco Kessler, headed to the control hub. There were signs of struggle everywhere. Scorch marks, shattered armor, smeared blood. No bodies. It looked like the entire population had simply vanished. In the medical wing, botanist Tamerlim and medic Zuri found strange plants growing from the wall's violet vines, with iridescent leaves, pulsing gently. Not in any database, Tamara whispered, taking samples. Zuri kept her weapon ready, flinching at every echo. The whole place felt watched. It didn't take long to learn the truth. Kessler found the logs first, garbled recordings of something breaking in, something that silenced the defenders before they could even scream. The attackers weren't pirates or raiders. They were Vrahn, ancient apex predator species from beyond the known rim. Driven by hunger and a cold clinical curiosity about their prey. Suddenly, the airlock alarms shrieked. Rhea's cum crackled. "We've got movement," shouted Raj, the engineer, as gunfire echoed through the halls. Shadows danced long-limbed, multi-eyed Vrahn slipping through the darkness, their claws silent on metal. The crew fought back, but the Vrahn were like ghosts, using sonic weapons that stunned and disoriented. Kessler went down first, falling with a strangled cry. Raj's shouts were cut off as the lights died. Rhea fired blindly, backing up as the Vrahn advanced. Their forms barely visible except for the shimmer of light across chitinous armor. But humans are not easy prey. Mara, alone in the dark with Zuri wounded beside her, remembered her grandmother's stories. When all hope is lost, remember what it means to be human. We adapt. We fight back. She yanked a power cable from the wall, jury-rigged a crude torch, and set the alien vines ablaze. The corridor lit up, revealing the Vrahn's outline as they recoiled from the fire. In the chaos, Rhea regrouped with the survivors, Zuri, Tamara, and battered, limping Raj. There were only 4 of them now, hunted through a station that had become a labyrinth. But every member of the crew brought something no predator could anticipate: desperation, creativity, stubbornness, and the willingness to risk everything for each other. They set traps, using every trick and scrap they could find. Raj hotwired a series of bulkheads to slam shut on command, trapping to Vrahn and venting the section to space. Zuri, half-conscious with pain, hacked the station's environmental controls, flooding sections with freezing vapor that forced the aliens out of hiding, but the Vrahn were relentless. One by one, they forced the humans back toward the heart of the station, the reactor room. There, Rhea made her stand. "Listen to me," she hissed over the cum. "They expect us to scatter. They think we're cornered. We're going to show them what cornered humans do." Tamara looked terrified, but she nodded, holding a canister of fuel in trembling hands. Raj finished connecting the wires to the reactor's emergency vents. Zuri stood by, pistol shaking, but eyes fierce. Rhea was last, priming her old pulse rifle. The Vrahn surged in a wall of limbs and gleaming teeth. Rhea fired Tamara through the fuel. Raj triggered the vents. Fire and steam roared through the chamber. Screams echoed alien and human alike. The 4 fought with everything they had, driven by raw instinct and memory of everything they'd lost. When it was over, 3 Vrahn were dead, the rest fleeing into the ruined corridors. The humans were bloodied, bruised, but alive. The station, now burning and unstable, was seconds from meltdown. Rhea's crew dragged each other through fire and falling debris. Out the airlocks, and back to the Odyssey, sealing the hatches as the grave exploded in a silent burst of light. They sat in the battered mess hall, staring at each other, shaking, covered in blood and soot. The universe they knew was watching. The Vrahn, so certain of their dominance, had been beaten by a handful of desperate humans with nothing left to lose. Rhea laughed a wild, exhausted sound. "We're still here," she said softly, voice shaking with triumph and pain. "We're not prey. Not now, not ever." Tamara, eyes shining through tears, nodded. "We're human. We survive." Outside the portholes, the wreckage of the grave drifted into darkness. And as the Odyssey limped away into the stars, its battered crew left behind more than ruins. They left a warning. Out here, at the edge of everything, the old truth remained. Never hunt a species that refuses to surrender, that turns its own extinction into a weapon, that fights for each other even in the dark. For the first time in centuries, the Vrahn would remember the name humanity and what it meant to cross them. The story of the grave would travel from world to world, spark that would light fires in every colony, every outpost, every forgotten corner of the void. Because when the monsters come for the last light of hope, humans do not cower. They stand. They fight.